content is the king. It is a no debate question thing. Content is the king, and what content you should be taking, you decide, because you are the expert. In my domain, I was the expert. I know what worked for me. But then, yes, if you if you ever got to witness my very first webinar which I did, it was totally a whole together different game what I do today. And that came with 1.5 years of doing webinars. I got to know that where engagement drops. I got to know where which content my audience liked, which content should I be putting in, which content should I be deleting. That comes with time. Don't bother about it. How to decide what content to go ahead with in my webinar is simple. You will be using. I've written this as well. Content is we'll be using the content which actually breaks and rebuilds their beliefs. So I'll again take you back to my webinar. Is that 90% of you think that softwares are expensive or too techy to use, and I am a non-techie person. How do I do that? So what belief I broke in the very first thing which I did was my very first automation is this, where I teach you how you can actually send customized PDF links and emails when the other person is filling the form. Here, what I believe I'm breaking for you, it is a non-techie thing. It is a free thing. It is something which has come from your Google Workspace itself, which you have been using daily, but you were not aware. I've broken your belief in the very first content of mine. So again, you will be using content which breaks and then again rebuilds your beliefs. So I broke your belief that paid tools are used. It is going to be too techy to use. I don't think these things works. I don't think anything Google will give you these things. But I broke all of these beliefs and then again rebuild these things that yes, these are non-techy things. Yes, free things are also available. I do not have to buy the softwares. So you see, on one hand, I have broken your belief, and again on the other hand, I have rebuilt your belief while you were unaware of it. Again, sales call and webinars is all nothing but human psychology. You are playing with psychology of the of your audience. Every thing is psychology when you get into the sales. So that is how you create your content, and that is how the number one content has to be the supreme. That is why I've mentioned over here the number one content. Don't bother, you will be getting this mind map as well for your reference. So the number one content has to be supreme. So my number one content is like, and how did I decide that this has to be my number one content is, again, I did 1.5 years of webinars, and then I decided, okay, this content is like, this content I tell you where I get maximum drop as well. But that is, again, I took it as a qualification. When I teach you this particular automation, here I get maximum number of drops as well. The reason being is, those who are laggards, those who think that like it is not my thing to do, they drop from here. But those who find it connecting with this thing, that, and yes, that it resonates with my thing, they qualify from here and they move ahead with me in the webinar. So that is why I got it in the very first as a very first content, because again, it is a qualification for me that yes, this person is interested, this person is a little coachable, that is why this person is here. You again decide what is your supreme content, and that comes with time. But when you are doing your first webinar, just go by your experience for now.